Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday, February 21st. This is Not Your Advisor by NYU grad. Welcome back. Lots to cover, so let's jump right in. So, for breadth today, we had 219 new highs versus 148 new lows. 43% of shares were advancing versus 52% declining. Looking at the 50-day moving average, we had 43% of stocks under its 50-day and 35% of stocks under its 200-day. Obviously, this does not tell the whole story. If you are new to the podcast, I cover that at the top of the show every day. I think breadth is a very important indicator for kind of like a barometric pressure for weather. When you see it drop one side or another, it'll tell you kind of a clue as to which way. It'll tell kind of like which way the direction of the market will go. I'll give you an example. So you can have a day where it's like up 300 points on the Dow, but the breadth numbers are bad. That is a warning signal. And the more you'll follow the podcast, the more I'll start to explain that. But let's keep moving forward because there's a lot to cover today. Looking at the sectors, if you had to guess what was up midday versus at the end of the day, I bet you couldn't guess. But at the close, energy was the top performer, up 1.67% today. Then you had utilities, consumer cyclical, real estate, communication services, then basic materials, and then industrials. Technology was leading to the downside till the close, and we're going to cover that in a second. It was all about NVIDIA today. Taking a look at some of the mega cap names. Now, this is all prior to the close. Microsoft was down 0.15%. NVIDIA was down 2.85% before the close and the earnings. Amazon was down, it was up 0.9%. Google was up 1.15%. Apple was up 0.42%. Meta was down 0.79%. So, on a whole, the regular cash session was pretty bearish. And I'll walk through why. It's pretty obvious, but if you did not have a chance to look at the markets today, we opened very red, and the last 20 minutes, everything rallied, starting with NVIDIA into the close in anticipation of their earnings. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room. So there were two events today that were moving the markets. Number one, FOMC. The minutes came out. It looked actually surprisingly hawkish for higher rates for longer, but nothing happened. The Dow was down like 130 points after that, but the real sell-off started well after the minutes, like around 2 o'clock. And then at 3:45, everything rallied into the close. NVIDIA reported after the close. It was a great earnings report. They smashed it, right? They're doing really well. If you need inference AI or any type of AI, you have to go to NVIDIA first. If you are a CEO, CTO, CIO, and you're looking for AI chips or infrastructure or building out a data center, and you have a procurement team, you must look into NVIDIA as well as AMD and others. They reported great numbers, nothing to really be concerned about on the headline. Their quarterly sales tripled from a year ago, surpassing expectations. Their revenue was $22.1 billion in the last fiscal quarter, higher than any analyst forecast. Net profit was about $12.29 billion compared to $1.4 billion last year. And NVIDIA is forecasting around $24 billion of sales in the current quarter, which is ahead or above Wall Street expectation. But I do want to caution. I saw on X, Kakashi has been hinting that he has a report on Nvidia, and looks like there's a I don't know if you want to call it a habit, but a few instances now where either the companies they fund are buying a lot of their chips, or there's this American cannabis company who has a $2 million market cap. They're pivoting from cannabis to AI, and they have potentially a non-binding order of $1 billion in chips, in AI chips. Their market cap is 2 million. Okay, their revenue in 2022 was 18 million US dollars, and they lost 600K. So these are the type of things that kind of concern me about it, but it's a drop in the bucket for them. But that's something to watch out for. The thing that I'm really concerned about, which maybe no one else is, right, is that there was a heavy sell-off today in a lot of tech shares, IGV, software names, AI names, semiconductor names, and all of a sudden going into the close because of nothing else but the NVIDIA earnings, everything rallied. Not just NVIDIA, not just semiconductors, everything. So can this company keep the entire stock market afloat? And we closed and it rallied to lifetime highs. Basically, what happened was during the day, it was actually down quite a bit. But then the last 30 minutes it rallied, and then at the earnings call, it kind of waffled around, faked some people out, and we went to 745. The lifetime high is like 746 and change, and that just happened last week. So we'll see how this opens on Thursday. I'm just being honest. I've seen this before. I've lived through the dot-com. I've lived through the great financial crisis. Typically, one company, no matter how great they are, cannot hold up the entire market by itself. So the NASDAQ, QQQ, semiconductors, all going to rally in the morning, pre-market, even before the bell. But I would watch NVIDIA like a hawk. Where NVIDIA goes, the market goes on Thursday. So with that, I wanted to also cover a few other things. What stuck out today outside of NVIDIA and FOMC, the 10-year yield, and this is definitely off the back of the FOMC Fed minutes, is back above 4.3%. That is not good for risk assets. My line in the sand has always been 4.5%. We're heading there, it seems, unless tomorrow, because of NVIDIA, rates come down. So that's something to watch. What was weak? I already covered what was strong. I'm going to try to do this in one breath, okay? And this is all percent. What was weak? And this is why I said a lot of these things are going to bounce in the morning. But let's see if it sticks, okay? This is all percent. Kava down 10.47, Bitfarms down 8.96, Wheaton Precious Metals down 7.87, Supermicro Computer SMCI down 6.78, Marathon Digital down 6.57, Coinbase down 6.29, Roku down 4.98, Sprout Social down 4.98, Smart Sheets down 4.8, Carvana down 4.65, MicroStrategies down 4.56, New York Community Bank down 4.05, MongoDB down 3.89, Shopify down 3.85, Lyft down 3.59, Affirm down 3.47, PSFE Paysafe down 3.44, Wayfair down 3.37, AI down 3.22, Rivian down 3.15, Yext down 3.03, Nvidia down 2.85, ARC down 2.83, IGV down 2.88, Intel down 2.36, Klaviyo down 2.22, Blaze down 2.21, Kinross Gold down 2.17, Sweet Green down 2.16, ARC down 2.04, and Burr, the Bitcoin ETF, down to 2.03. I could keep going, but As you can see before the close, there was a lot of damage, and everything is supposed to reverse because of the Nvidia earnings tomorrow. It's like the second coming of Messiah. So we shall see. I've seen this before, and look, if we just start to rally, I'm gonna be in. I have enough setups to go long, and I'll cover them right now for the premium members. But I want to thank everyone that tuned in to the free portion of the podcast. If you would like to upgrade, there is still time left for the 20% off. I'll include the link in the show notes, or just go to nyugrad.substack.com/lunar, like LUNAR, like Lunar New Year, and you'll get that code for 20% off either on the monthly or the annual subscription. I will see you guys all tomorrow after the Thursday session. Premium members, stay on.